blessings I take out. It's plenty of out. My brother, I not your brother. I did it for me. I didn't even do it for him. I didn't do it. That's all he got me. He didn't make me dance, he break it dance. He didn't make me want to clap my hands. He didn't make me go to turn up. He didn't make me shout hallelujah. He didn't make me dance, he break it dance. He didn't make me want to clap my hands. He didn't make me go to turn up. I said, my blessings I take out. My blessings I take out. It's meant to be out. My blessings I take out. You know, she said I take out. It's plenty of house. We don't need to see the money coming down the day. You know what they cry? Them love and change. The human power. He done make me dance, he break it dance. He done make me want to clap my hands. He done make me want to turn up. He done make me shout my hallelujah. He done make me dance, he break it dance. He done make me want to. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session. My name is Olajide. Uh, I love the excitement in the house. Blessing, thanks for the confettis. Thank you. Uh, just a quick intro. If you can share your name and where you're connecting from, it will be great. Who knows? Probably someone close to you is on the call, so you can just connect. That's one of the reasons why we are on the call, right? So just your name and where you're connecting from. Just let's do that very quickly. Oluwatife Ajiboye, you're welcome. And where are you connecting from, Oluwatife? Ogun State. Nice. How is it going this evening? Okay, we're waiting for others to share. We're far behind schedule, but we'll try to uh, keep up with time so we can end on time. Jayola Esther, welcome Esther. Where are you connecting from? Ogbomoso, Nigeria. Wow. It's not the mango period. I would have said you should send us Ogbomoso mango. Welcome. Isaac Ononuga. Connecting from Ijebu-Ode. Okay. How is the video of our preparation going, Isaac? Good to have you on the call. All right. Without further ado, okay. Raising up. That's nice. Blessed Ojoke, the blessed, blessed, A.K. Barakat Sky Bishop, location Agege Big Lagos. Nice. You're welcome to the call. Hi everyone. I'm Orelua Bademosi, connected from Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome, Orelua. Ayola Olashibiko is connected from Ikorodu, IKD, Lagos. You're welcome, Ayola. All right, we'll be going straight to the session. One of our speakers is on the call already, so Sorry, can you hear me?
What do
I
you have?
think
It
my
went off
internet
for
went
some
off
time,
on the
but it's
other
back now. We can hear you now,
gadgets.
sir.
Okay, great, great. So while waiting for the other um internet to come up, so it's a session like the session is going to be for growth as well in all areas of our lives that we are looking to grow, and then we're going to get connected. Like definitely there's going to be connection after during the event and also after the event. So expect um to see all of this. Right. So next is I need to share my screen. Sorry. Okay, while waiting for the network to come up. We are glad you are here on the call with us, and over the next few days, we'll be having a session on reflection, clarity, and intentional growth, right? And it's designed for every one of us to think, realign our goals, and also rise. And who are we? So, so with that, when we have sessions like this, we get to introduce who we are, and we thought for short, we are engaged, right? We are young professionals. So we are focused on capacity building, knowledge sharing, and collaboration. Our mission is to equip young people with practical skills, mentorship, resources, and networks that accelerate our personal and professional growth. Um, so we do this through learning, collaboration, and community. Like we say, like the saying goes, no man is an island, right? So we are not an island. That's why we have come together to grow together. So our vision is to build a vibrant and empowered community of over 1 billion professionals by 2030. Reason why we are having this conference to reach our numbers, right? And what we do, we have knowledge sessions and webinars. The last we had was on the slow that 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 yeah, December. And also do mentorship and peer learning. We do skills development and career conversations within the community. Also, share access to resources and opportunities, first-hand opportunities and resources that you would want to yeah, share within the community. And again, we have fun, right? We all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So all work and no play makes MJ members dull people. So we also have fun. We have our quarterly hangouts where we just unwind and enjoy, right? So yes. So you just give me a few seconds, please. So for this session, for this conference, we what are you to expect? Number one is insightful sessions. Trust me, our speakers are loaded. They are very much ready for us. Also practical conversations, conversations that are more practical. They are not just vague. They are that sessions, conversations that are more practical, not just out of the nose. Conversation. There's going to be guided reflections where you need to reflect if you be guided by professionals and our speakers, right? Then there's going to be a clear next steps. So it's not just we're not just going to hear another perspire to acquire go to session, right? So there's going to be a clear next step for you. So if you need to get better at a particular thing or or a phase or a path, right? There's going to be a clear next steps after the session. So this is a participatory experience. So it's not a passive one. When you need to speak, you should speak. When you need to engage, please do well to engage. So it's going to go. I need to share my screen so we can see what's really here. It's coming up. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you
Yes,
for the feedback. Thanks. All right. So the schedule for the 3 days would be for day one will be there's going to be a keynote session by our speaker is there on the call already. We're going to have a session on opportunities and career reset. There's going to be a session again on finance and wealth reset and guided goal setting and accountability. This will be happening today. So for tomorrow, there's going to be a practical masterclass. There's going to be an application labs. That's there's going to be like a breakout session for lab A that will be on portfolio or CV or personal brand clinic. And then part B is going to be on grant, fellowship, and opportunity navigation, how to access opportunities, how to access grants and fellowship just to get better, right? Then there's going to be a pair learning and experience sharing session after the session tomorrow. Then for day 3, which is going to be a physical session, there's going to be an interactive workshop, panel discussion, networking, and then a closing reflection. So trust me, the session is packed, the conference is packed, and you don't want to miss any. Then at the end of this conference, we have a goal. We have a goal that wants to meet once you should be able to have a clear direction for 2026. You should be able to understand your next steps, right? You should be able to set intentional goals, connected with a goal-driven community like Microsoft. So even if you connect with someone outside MGH, I'm sure it's going to be a positive connection. You definitely live with accountability, not just inspiration. And at the end of the day, you get a certificate of participation. So it's not just something that you just do and you don't have anything to show for it. So let's just do a few housekeeping for the session, all through the session from day 1 to day 3. So we need to follow these rules. So number 1, you need to be punctual for all sessions. So today we came a bit late. That's why we are running behind time. We are 7 minutes behind schedule, right? So you need to stay engaged and participate. You need to keep your questions concise. If you need to ask any question, please keep it concise. Respect different perspectives. Don't say your own perspective is the best or like is superior to others. So everyone's perspectives are welcome. You need to respect them. And if you are able to turn on your video, it's an interactive session, right? So if you are able to turn on your video, or sorry, your camera, please put it on. I just noticed that my camera went off when the network went down. So yeah, if you're able to turn on your camera, please turn it on. And please mute your mic if you're not speaking. So if you're not speaking, if you are not asked to mute your mic, please put your mic, keep it muted. Right. Thank you as you adhere to these few guidelines, guidance sessions. So going straight to our first session for today. So it's going to be keynotes. It's going to be on setting the foundation for your reset. And our speaker is on the call. already. So I'm going to read his bio for us to know and meet our speaker. He's going to share some insights with us, and I'm sure it's loaded and we are also ready. So if I'm you, I'm going to grab my notepad, my pen, and get things jotted down while speaking. So Adeboye Oyesomi Bankole, popularly known as AOB, is a seasoned realtor with about 4 years experience in real estate sales and marketing. He has closed sales worth hundreds of millions with clients both in Nigeria and in the diaspora. He has a vision to help at least 1,000 people make wise real estate investment decisions without risking a dime. His personal mantra is trust in the Lord always and lean not on your own understanding. He's passionate about personal development and empowerment, purposeful living, and personal finance. He has a podcast, Beyond Sales Podcast, where he discusses sales and other intersecting topics. He is also a senior sales executive at Land Republic, as well as the Learning and Development Lead. Join me as I welcome our keynote speaker, Adeboye Oyesomi Bankole. Good evening, Adeboye.
Good evening. Please, can you confirm you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, that's fine. Thank you so much for having me on this call. Thank you, Mr. Jide, for having me. It's such an honor. Good evening, everyone. I believe you all had a great day. I was really shocked when Mr. Jide told me that, I'll be coming to speak at this conference. I was like, hey, wait till I know. But then I believe for me to be here is just for one person to actually learn something different about themselves, right? I like to say this, that virtually everything that will be shared in this conference, this period, are things that probably you know before and things that you've not been doing well enough. That's just the truth, right? I like this quote a lot. This quote by, I actually learned it from Paul Ford, right? It says, take a simple idea and take it seriously. Take a simple idea and take it seriously. I feel that quote, since I listened to that quote for the first time, it has been on my mind ever since, because that quote is, something that you are doing and you're not taking it seriously, somebody else will do that same thing, take it seriously, and they will make money out of it, and the life will become better because of that decision, right? So you will listen to so many things I will say tonight, but then if you can just pick one of the things I'll be mentioning tonight and you're able to work with that thing, right, I can assure you that your level will move from ground zero to at least somewhere better than where you are currently, right? So, once again, thank you, Mr. Olajide. It's such an honor for me to be here, right? Reset to Rise conference. This is a very powerful thing because, for you have to first of all reset your mind, right? And I've been given a very interesting conversation to talk about designing your 2026 growth plan. From the word reset, I'm a football person, right? So I'd like to start my conversation from the football world, right? So about 2-3 weeks ago, Chelsea and Napoli played a match, right? And as a fresh staff, Napoli were actually leading 2-1, right? And they went on 15-minute break, right? And then by the time they came back from this 15-minute break for the second half to start, about 10 minutes into the match, the coach had to stop some guys and brought in another set of people. And lo and behold, the fresh guys that the coach brought into the match changed the match around. And for one of the guys that came in eventually scored 2 goals, right? And at the end of the day, Chelsea won the match 3-2. Now, why am I bringing this scenario is the fact that they had to pause the match at some point. They had to stop the game, go into the dressing room, rearrange their mindset about certain things, right? And then when the match started again, the coach had to change certain things, bring in new things, right? And the new things the coach brought into the game changed the game around, and then they eventually won the match. Now, this is what reset to rise simply mean, right? you trying to sit yourself and ask yourself, take a pause. Ask yourself, what are the things I am doing currently that is not getting the result I want to get? Take a pause, analyze yourself by yourself. Analyze the things that you're doing currently by yourself, and then know what to bring out and know what to put into yourself. The same way my coach removed some players, brought in some players, and at the end of the day, we won the match. Right? So this is what reset to right simply mean. Knowing when to pause. It's just like when you're driving your car too, right? For those who actually drive, if there's a car without a brake, you will definitely, there'll be 40 without, you will definitely have an issue while driving. The brake is there for you to actually chill, take a chill pill, understand what is happening on the road, then before you can accelerate again. In fact, even before you start your car, you must apply the brake. And this will say, for you to accelerate in life, you must be able to, at some point in your life, take a pause, take a breather, step on the brake. And until you step on the brake, you can actually accelerate to where you actually want to get to. So, now that is where it's going to bring me to my conversation today, right? Because we need to, first of all, talk about how last year went. Because if we don't analyze what we did in 2025, we'll repeat the same in 2026, and we're going to get the same result. Because foolishness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It doesn't work that way. Foolishness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? So now, I would like to ask us about 6 different questions, right? And if you can jot, I would appreciate that. I mean, I have 30 minutes to talk on this call. I just hope that my 30 minutes is enough, right? And the first question I want to ask you guys is, what are your biggest win in 2025? Write the question down. If you can put the answer now, put the answer now. But then I appreciate if one of you can actually answer these questions for me, right, on this call. What are your biggest win in 2025? That's my first question. My second question is, what do you think, if you had done differently, would have gotten you more results or, say, closer to your goals for 2025? I'll tell the question again. What do you think, if you had done differently, would have gotten you more results or, say, get you closer to your goals in 2025? That's the second question. Now, my third question is this. What are the things you noted last year that were time wasters for you? What are the things that you're able to note last year that actually wasted your time? That you spent time but actually wasted your time all through last year? What are those things? Note them down. That's my first set of questions for you. Now, my next set of questions is about this year, right? 2026. Now, imagine this is December 31st, 2026, right? What would have happened to you for you to have said year 2026 was a great year? Am I being too fast? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, are you getting all the questions? All right, that's fine.
Yes.
So I'm taking that question again. Imagine this is December 31st, 2026. What would have happened to you? Okay, I should slow down a bit. Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to rush because of my time. What would have happened to you for you to have said, oh, year 2026 was a great year? I didn't say was a great year, right? The second question in that aspect, in that category is, what 5 resources do you need to have an amazing 2026? What 5 resources do you need for you to have said you want to have an amazing 2026? And my last question in this category is this. What are your goals for 2026? That's the first part of the question. What are your goals? Now, from the list of your goals, if you are to achieve one on that list, that will be an anchor
to the remaining goals on that list, what would that be? What are your goals first? Now, from the list of your goals of 2026, what is one thing on that list that if you're able to achieve this one thing, every other thing on my list will be achieved as well? Note it down. Now, a lot of times, we don't tend to sit ourselves down to talk to ourselves, and that is where the beginning of our problem lies, right? We like to seek counsel from our friends, from maybe our pastors, from our mentors, but we ourselves find it difficult to sit ourselves down and talk to ourselves. And until you're able to realize that I am not getting something right, and I need to work on something else to make me better, talk to yourself first, even before you talk to your mentor or before you talk to your boss. You need to have some critical discussions with yourself. And that is why I came up with these 6 different questions. Because I can assure you that if you can give honest answers to these questions, trust me, you are about to have an amazing 2026. If you can sit yourself down and give honest answers, I'm giving you these things because these are the things I did practically myself, sometimes in 2023 when I was about starting my journey into growth, right? I mean, for your boss, for Olaje to come and speak to you, we met at an event sometime in 2023, if you can remember, right? And since then, we've been having amazing conversations over time until now, right? There's something he saw in me, for him to have said, oh, I want you to come and speak at my conference. Now, if I had not developed myself to this particular extent, he wouldn't have called me. I mean, he has many people he could have reached out to, but he decided to reach out to me because there's something he saw. And that's the thing with growth. Growth can be seen, cannot hide growth. It's just like a pregnant woman, right? The first month, you might not know anything. Second month, third month. But when you start coming to the 5th month, 6th month, you will know. That is growth. Growth might not be seen immediately, but over time, consistency, you will definitely start seeing that, no, there's something different about this person. So that leads me to my next point, that growth is not a day thing. It is a journey. It is not something that happens to you in one night. Growth is a journey, right? Now, I mean, my discussions, I'll still ask you those questions. Just note them down. Maybe during my other session, I'm going to ask you your answers, right? I'm trying to rush because of my time, right? So I will talk about lessons from 2025. I said, before you talk about 2026, pause, reflect on what happened in 2025, because if you don't learn from that experience, you repeat the same things in 2026. I already mentioned that, right? And at times, growth can be very, very painful. And that's the truth. And so for many people, they tend to see growth as something that's just monetary alone. But then growth is actually maturity. You have grown from one level of, okay, some things that you could react to naturally before, right? Now they don't actually mean anything to you again. That is growth. Growth also means boundaries. You setting boundaries for yourself also means growth. So say, for example, for me, for example, I wake up 4 a.m. every morning. I have to set that discipline for myself. Oh, if I'm scrolling through social media, there's some pages I cannot just go to. Not because I don't like them, but because I realize that the things I watch, they tend to affect my mind. Right? And permission to quote the scripture, the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Everything you do comes from your mind. So you need to guard your actions, guard your mind jealously. And there are 2 gateways to your mind, which is number 1, your eyes and your ears. The things you watch and the things you listen to. So growth means setting boundaries for yourself. There are some things I would not watch because they will not help my mind get better. Are we together? So if you can actually talk to yourself that, okay, I want to set boundaries on certain things I listen to, certain things I watch because I want to guard my heart, that is growth. If, for example, before you expect, I mean, this question I asked you guys, I asked some people in my company early in the year, and one of them said one of the things that took her time last year was TikTok. She said she could spend time on TikTok, and I told somebody this. I said, if you spend 2 hours on TikTok before, reduce it to 1 hour this year. For a start, the next 1 hour, read a book. And guys, for the past 1 month, that's January, for the whole of January, she did that in January. And we already seeing progress in the life of this girl. She still watch her TikTok. She does that on TikTok, but instead of 2 hours before, now she has cut it down to 1 hour. The next 1 hour she has meant to read. And I am really on her neck because of that. Now imagine spending a whole 2 hours on TikTok just watching video, watching Pella. I mean, what are you gaining from there? When you can sit yourself down and watch a video on YouTube that will transform your mind. Am I making sense? So growth is not just about making money. Growth simply means you setting boundaries for yourself, right? Another thing I also wrote down is that growth means saying no without feeling guilt. Because the truth is that when you say no to something, you are saying yes to another thing. I put together, when you say no to watching videos that will bless your mind, you are saying yes to videos that actually pollute your mind. Right? So growth simply means saying no without feeling guilt. Saying no to watching that TikTok video when you can actually say yes to watching a video on YouTube that actually bless you. That is growth. I put together, so you have to say no to certain things. I mean, for me, for example, I just go on Instagram sometimes to just post and leave there. Because Instagram can be very funny. Once you open Instagram like this, start seeing different things and you get carried away. I put together, so I try as much as possible that if I'm going to Instagram, there are sometimes that I actually scroll through, watch some people's video, but then the people I follow on Instagram as well, I carefully selected them because I know I want to learn from these guys. So if I'm seeing their posts, they're actually helping my mind, shaping my mind to become better. So I deliberately said no to some gossip blogs, and I say it to certain people on Instagram. Why? Because me as a person, I am intentional about my growth. Growth is an intentional journey. Nobody can talk you into growth. You have to grow by yourself. See, no matter what is discussed in these 3 days of reset to rise, no matter everything, all the 8 speakers speak, or the 12 speakers speak, if you don't intentionally say you want to grow by yourself, nothing will happen. Even if you go to the mountain, nothing will happen. It takes intentional effort for you to grow, right? Yeah, so I think let me just, okay, I said, don't waste your pain, extract the lesson. That is to say, what you learned from 2025, don't waste that pain. I mean, you must have lost so many hours, so many things that you didn't do quite all right. That is why you want to reset. That is why you want to sit yourself and ask yourself that, okay, what did I do? Where did I go wrong in 2025? Now, reset. Take a pause. Analyze it. Don't feel too bad. It has gone. You cannot change the past, but you can start working today so that you can have an amazing tomorrow. Are we together? So sit yourself down now. Analyze 2025. Don't waste that pain. What you want to do for yourself is extract the lesson and work with them. That's my first point. My second point is clarifying your values and your priorities. Because the question is, what actually matters to you? Yes. What actually matters to you? What are your values? What do you want to be known for? In this year, 2026, what do you want to be known for? I mean, when I joined real estate in 2023, right? 2022 rather, I joined because yes, I was broke. I was poor and broke. That's why I joined, right? But I realized that my first 5 months, I was a miserable salesperson. There was no sale. I literally struggled for the first 5 months because I didn't make any sale, right? And that was because my mindset was I was coming to this game to make money. But I realized that beyond money, there's value you have to attach to what you're doing. So 2023, I had a mindset shift that, okay, I want to make money to actually start providing value for people, right? So I will write content, write certain things, make videos that speak to the needs of people. And lo and behold, I made my first sale in that same January. The same January, I decided to have a mind shift of, okay, I am not just about the money now. If I want to make money, definitely, but then let me give value out to my people first. I made my first 2 sales in that month. Then February, March, April, there was a break. And from May 2023 rather, till today, I have been closing deals every single month without flinching. Deals in millions, right? Now, what happened was because I realized that I came into the game with a negative mindset. I wanted to make money. That is truth. Because my mind was fixated on just making money, I was just doing things anyhow. But when I had a mindset shift on, okay, I want to create value for those people, make them see why they need to invest. As a result of that, I started making sales. So I told myself that I actually want to make a name for myself within the industry. So there are a lot of, let's say, consultants everywhere in Lagos, in Nigeria, all through the world. But then I want to build a brand, build a name for myself. Today, I won't say I'm there yet, but at least everybody knows who AOB is. Right? Not because I grew up one day and I suddenly became AOB, but over time, giving value from one value to the other, people start noticing what I do. As a result of that, now Olajide can say, come and speak to my audience. Why? Because he has seen certain things from me over time. So what exactly do you want to be known for in 2026? Right? And that's what I wrote down. I said, okay, ask yourself this. What does value mean to you? I mean, value means different things to so many people, but to you as a person, what does value mean to you? I said that because of the truth, you can't design a Power 26 if you don't know what really matters to you. If you don't stand for something, you stand for anything. Yes. If you don't stand for something, in fact, you will fall for anything, not even stand. You will fall for anything. So what you want to stand for this year, right? Ask yourself this: what kind of life do you want to live? What am I no longer available for? That is value. There are some places that you cannot go again this year. Not because they are bad, but because of the kind of personality you want to develop for yourself. You cannot be found in some certain gatherings again. This year, you have to aid some friends, not aid them, so to say, but at least you have to withdraw from some associations and form new people, new associations. Why? Because you are about to be intentional about your growth. Some friends can no longer go along with you on this journey. And that's the truth. I mean, somebody woke up one day and said, lonely editor, lonely. That's the truth. It's lonely because not everybody wants to grow. That's the truth. Not everybody wants to grow. So if you're actually deciding to grow, some people actually fall down at the end of the day. They are not actually wrong. They're not actually bad people, but for the next stage of your life, they're not just needed at that stage. I have some people that I called best friends about 3-4 years ago. I still talk to them, but I don't get my best friend. Because looking at where I want to go, they will drag me down. We still talk, no doubt. But then I am so intentional that I am trying to form new relationships that can help me get where I want to get to. Because like I rightly said, I mean, the Bible says, "He who walks with the wise shall be wise, and the companions of fools shall be destroyed." So if you are among 5 wise people, you become the 6th wisest of them. Because what they do will eventually rub off on you at some point in your life. I am who I am today by the grace of God, intentional hard work, but then because I found myself in the midst of certain people that are commanding mad numbers. When I joined and I started growing, my boss was telling me one day that he closed a deal in one day, 150 million. Bro, that alone, I still have that thought in my head in that time. And because of that statement, the day I will do that thing in one day, I'm going to tell you, sir, you said this thing 2 years ago, and I have done it. Being in the midst of certain people helps trigger you to want to be better. So, based on your value as a person, what are the kind of friendship that you want to form this year that will help you get to where you want to get to? And that depends on the kind of value that you have, that you actually want to form, right? I also said that what must increase in your life and what must reduce? What must you do more of? And what must you cut down on this year? Because if you want to go, like I made mention before I started my conversation about Chelsea Napoli match, the coach had to remove like 3 different players, brought in 3 new players. And 2 of the new players I actually brought in, one of them did assist, the other guy scored the goal. And we won the match. So you have to remove some things this year. And as what are the things that you want to remove? What are the things that you want to add? And these are based on your, and what I said, your value determines your decisions. I love this. Your value determines your decisions. And your decisions determines your direction. Your value determines your decision, and your decision determines your direction, and your direction determines your destiny. So until the vision, until the value is clear, right, decisions cannot be clear. Until decision is clear, direction cannot be clear. And until direction is clear, my dear, destiny will just be doing obly. That's the truth. I will together. So you must get your values right. What do I want to stand for? What do I want to be known for? Right? And I said for some of you, right, your priority this year is just peace of mind. Should I shake some tables? Leave some abusive relationship this year. That is what is important to you. Leave some abusive relationship this year. Yes. Focus on your peace of mind. That is your top priority first. Because if your mental health is tortured with, you cannot think of growing. There's no how. So if a relationship has actually been abusive to you, abuse it, leave. Focus on your peace of mind first. And for some of you, health should be your priority. Body goes. You say you're going to join gym. For the past 2 years, you've not entered gym once. Take care of your health. Take a walk. People are this smiling. Basically, is smiling. Yes, we know you. You have said that you want to enter gym. You want to keep fit. But you're still eating junks every now and then. That is still part of growth. What are your values? Your health should be your own priority this year. Focus on it. Register for the gym. Go. I remember myself too. I've been saying for a very long time, I want to enter gym. But 2024, I broke that jeans. With 2024, I've been going to the gym every day since that time. Not every day actually, but at least consistently for the past 1 year, about 7 months around. 1 year, 7 months, I'm going to the gym every now and then. And I go in the morning. I think I'll get to that part. I go in the morning. And I work at least 1 hour, 30 minutes every single day. At least in a week, I go for at least about 4 times in a week. I go to the gym. Because my health is more, and this is not just because of now, because of, I don't want to be in my season and I'm using stick. I want to still be fit. And it starts now. Yes. All those junk that you're eating, cut down. Those are your priorities. What are your priorities this year? For some of you, skill development should be a priority to you. Develop a skill. start reading books, right? I mean, go on YouTube, like I mentioned, you're going to watch videos, learn something, and be good at it. Yes, and for some of you, financial discipline should be your goal this year. Oh, bullet December. You know how much you spend in Obule December, Abi? You know how much you spend on weeks every month. Abi? Financial disciplines know how to cut down on certain expenses. That should be your own priority this year, right? Know where to spend your money on. I mean, these are the things, for some of you, you're already picking your own, catch yourself, like they say, catch yourself, right? So, and for some of you, yours might be spiritual growth. You want to grow in the things of God this year. That may be what is actually valuable to you this year. Please develop it. Join the Bible believing church. Go to church regularly. Listen to worship songs. Develop your mindset about those things. So, like I said, what exactly is valuable to you this year? I said, design your life based on your conviction, not based on competition. You cannot look like Mr. Olajide and say you want to be like Mr. Olajide. Be like who you want to be first. Mr. Olajide can actually be a mirror of possibility for you, but then you cannot be him. Be you. So let your growth be based on your convictions and not based on your competitor or competitions. Let it be based on you. Now, my next point is choose focus over overwhelm. Oh. Choose focus over overwhelm. I said you cannot do everything. Yes, you cannot do everything. Only you want to become a footballer, you want to become a tech person, you want to become go into real estate, you want to become you will just kill yourself. You'll kill yourself. I'm telling you. Bible says the foolishness of this man weary all of them because he does not know how to go about the city. There's always a way to go about the city. So don't overwhelm yourself. Focus on something. I mean, from your goals, you should not have about 40 goals this year. It might be just be 5, but those 5 things, stay true to those things and work on them. When I started my journey into growth, what I did was I told myself that I want to be known for someone in this real estate industry. Not necessarily because, I might not be the best person ever in real estate, but at least I want for people that actually know me, let them know me for something that, yes, then when they see my post, they know it was about to write something that's actually reasonable. And I mean, I have seen about time people tell me that, oh, they deliberately actually pin my post. That anytime I post, they want to be the first person that will see my post. And truth be told, I have like 5 people like that. Anytime I post something, that the first people that actually see my post. Why? Because I told myself that I want to actually create this name for myself. I want to be able to talk into the minds of people, actually address certain things that is affecting them. I'm into real estate, but I don't write about real estate alone. I write about things that actually, I know actually bless you as a person. That's the thing. So you don't focus on too many things. If I focus on just one goal this year, like I said from the beginning, that out of all your goals and everything, now what is that one thing that when you achieve will be an anchor for everything? If you can get that one thing right, every other thing can also fall in place. That's the thing. So don't focus on too many things, because when your energy is scattered, right, you become almost as good as doing nothing. But when your energy is focused on a particular thing, you give it your 100%. Because it's better to give 100% to one thing than to give 10% to 10 things. I mean, think about it. It is better to give 100% of your attention to one thing and get it for you to give 10% attention to 10 things. It's still 100, but yes, you're not giving it your best. Right? So I said 2026 must be the year of strategic goals. Instead of saying, I want to make more money. Say I will increase my income by mastering one high ticket or anything, one high value skill. You want to make more money is relative. Give it a figure. Oh, by the end of this, like for me, for example, I made a target for myself. They said I want to. My time is fast spent, right? Oh, my time is up.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
But you can round up. Yeah, you can round up.
Okay, that's fine. So let me just quickly round up. My last point is design realistic and intentional goals, and that has 4 points, right? Your goals must be clear enough. I mean, somebody else, I'm sure somebody else talk about SMART. I don't talk about SMART goals because a lot of people talk about it on this course. So, if you have to design realistic and intentional goals, it must be clear enough. What exactly are you trying to achieve? That's the first thing. Number 2 is why. Why is that goal very important to you? Because if your goal is not strong enough, you will get tired easily. I'm being sincere with you. If your goal is not strong enough, if your why is not strong enough, you will get tired. So your goal must be tied to something that, if I don't achieve this thing, people will suffer. Right? I said, okay, why exactly are you trying to achieve? So what are you trying to achieve basically? That's your why. The third thing is systems. For you to design realistic goals, you must put structures in place for your life. Design systems, right? I said, people, if you actually ask people that are doing well in this thing, they will tell you that they have structures for their life. Me, for example, I wake up 4 a.m. every single day. 4 to 6, I read, I pray. From 6 to 7, I go to the gym, work out. My mind is a lot. So while others are sleeping, I have gained something for the day. I have waking up my mind for something active for the day. So I go into the day full of energy. Why? Because while others are sleeping, I have attacked the day. I have prayed, I have read, I have gone to the gym, I have exercised my body. These are strategies I've actually put in place for myself for the past over 2 years now, and they have been very, very effective for me as a person. Right? So set structures for yourself. I said, don't just set goals, design habits, right? And last thing I wrote down under this point is that accountability, right? Tell someone, track your progress, review your progress on a monthly basis. Don't wait till December 31st before you can say, oh, what have I done this year? By yourself, monthly, do a monthly check, do a quarterly check, do a monthly check. Oh, this month, what did I get wrong right this month? What did I get wrong this month? Do a monthly check. And at the end of every quarter, ask this quarter, what did I achieve this quarter? So it helps you reset again and rise the next quarter. I put together. So be accountable to somebody. Tell somebody about what you're trying to achieve, right? I mean, that's the place of you having a mentor. I said, what gets measured gets improved. What you can measure, you can improve on. If you can measure that, oh, I have not done well this year. Let me wrap up with this. In 2023, I set a goal of 100 million for myself in sales. Unfortunately for me, I did 67 million that year, right? Now, coming into 2024, my sales goal was 250 million. But I did 100 million in 7 months, in 8 months rather. Now, the 100 million I could not do in the whole of 1 year, 2023, I did in 8 months in 2024. Now, because I wrote down that goal, I was able to tell myself that I can do better. In 2024, I did 100 million in 8 months. At the end of the year, I did about 140-something million in 2024. 2025 came, I increased my goals, and 2025 was last year, I did about 170-something million in sales. Why am I saying this? Because every year I am tracking my progress. It's fine. I might not achieve my goal, but I did better than last year because I was able to tweak my ideas, tweak my mind. I mean, I was able to do certain things that was different when I did the previous year. So this year like this, I was challenging myself that I must do better than last year. That is how you grow. And I could do this because I am actually measuring myself by myself. every year, month in, month out, year in, year out, I'm actually telling myself, okay, if I did this year, I'll do this next year. So guys, I think with this pinpoint of mine, I'll be able to convince you and not confuse you that you should reset and rise. Peace out. Thank you very much, guys, for having me. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you. That was a very, very insightful one. Thank you very much, Hadiboye. It was a great session, and it's a good way to start the conference. It's actually I love the fact that you're able to put it across board, not just our personal life. You took it to the career, everything, all aspects, all areas of our lives. Thank you very much, and we really appreciate your time. And peradventure, you have any question? This is for everyone. If you have any question, please you can send it to the chat, send it in the chat box, and we'll pick it up from there. Or if you are still thinking about it, there's going to be a link that will be shared after the session. So the questions will be sent to him directly, and you get your answers sent to you either via WhatsApp or your email. Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, going straight to our next session. I don't know. Nigeria has happened again. My internet just went off. All right, so going straight to our next session for tonight on opportunities and career reset. Our speaker is on the call already. So AOB already mentioned that you need to write down your goals, right? If opportunities and career reset is part of your goals for the year, this is a session that will open your eyes to it and get yourself prepared for the opportunities that are ahead of you 2026. So I will be introducing our facilitator. She's on the call already. My God, I don't know how my internet is. Sorry, we need to. Okay, let me move. Probably it's because I'm very far from where the internet is, but yeah. Okay, let me move here. Okay, so I'm going to read while my internet comes on my other device. Victoria Abidoye. Victoria is a marketing and communication strategist specializing in growth, digital innovation, education, and AI transformation. She holds a master's degree in international business, a focus on how artificial intelligence reshapes multinational enterprise and global strategy. At Periculum, an African AI and fintech company, she leads strategic communications and product marketing, turning complex ideas into clear, impactful narratives that drive adoption and sustainable outcomes in fast-moving environments. She is deeply committed to empowerment and inclusion. With the Girls Manual, she keeps young women build practical career, life, and confidence skills. A co-founder of Digital Brainiacs, she bridges the digital divide in Africa through cultural relevance, accessible digital literacy tools, and communities. Victoria is passionate about equitable access to knowledge, intentional growth, guiding people through transitions while championing inclusive innovation. Founder storytelling and uplifting underrepresented voices in tech, education, and emerging markets. Join me as I welcome Victoria Abidoye to the podium. You're welcome, Victoria. Good to have you here.
Hi everyone. Good evening. I'm a bit shy, so I had to turn off my camera because I was smiling a lot in the background. Thank you. Thank you, Olajide, and thank you, Margaret Hub, for having me. So today I will try as much as possible to keep to time and not bore all of us with, like, lots of details, because I tend to talk a lot if you allow me. I know it's pretty late already, so I'm going to share my screen. I put together a couple of slides to help guide our conversation, and I'm kind of hoping that we could all, like, this could be a very interactive session. So please, if at one point or the other I ask a question and you have an answer to my question, please feel free to respond. I'm going to put my Canvas slide like this because I want to also see, I'm putting side by side. If I put it full screen, I would not see everybody as I would like to. Okay, so good evening once again, everyone. How are we doing? I hope we're having a good day. I hope we've learned a lot from the previous session. I did learn a lot. And AOB has sort of put me on my toes. So thank you for that, kind sir. Today I'll be talking about opportunities and career reset, identifying growth pathways for 2026. So I'm going to ask us a series of questions to help guide this conversation. If you could identify, or if you could say what 2026 has been for you in a word, what is that going to be? Please remember, we're trying to keep to time. So if you can mute your mic and just say something and then go back to unmute your mic or use the chat box, that would be super great. So what has 2026 been for you? Essentially, for me, it's been a lot. It's been blood red, and it's been sort of, oh, that's good. I'm really happy that it's promising for some people. Or some of us, it's been amazing from the back. Okay. Is there any other person that wants to share what the year has been for them? Oh, different shades for sure. Me, I've seen maroon, I've seen red, I've seen orange, but we keep moving, we keep it going. Okay, so I'm going to ask another question. I know, risk. What is your biggest goal in 2026 career-wise? And please feel free to say whatever it is. This is a judgment-free zone. People that know me know that I am the last person that would judge you because you have a goal that is too big or a goal that is too small, right? So if you have a career goal for the year, what would that goal be? Let me talk about myself a little bit. My goal is to land a role that will pay me 60K pounds this year. Can it happen? Yes. Will it happen? Yes. How will I do it? I'm going to show you how I will do it. I strongly believe that anything is possible, and take it from somebody that walks out of jobs that does not serve her anymore. I hate to be in terrible situations career-wise because I strongly believe that you spend 50 to 60% of your time at work, might as well be in a great working environment, okay? But we're not talking about how great or how exciting your work environment could be. We're talking about how to land great opportunities. Amen? Okay, great. So I see in the chat, somebody said, take professional exam. That's really good. That's massive. I also am considering actually pivoting into a higher tech skill, like cybersecurity, that doesn't have a lot of technicalities involved. So, Olajide, do you want to share what your career goal is? Your camera is on. I can see you. Oh, to no longer have a career. Energy. Energy. Okay. That's really great. Thank you guys for sharing. So in different careers, there are amazing stuff going on, right? I mentioned tech because tech seems to be, I've already been in tech. I do have a background in AI and data solutions. Even though I was doing it as a marketer, I've worked with fintechs before. That's why I'm trying to pivot into tech. For you, it might be totally different. If you were, for instance, a healthcare worker, you could want to pivot into being maybe a nurse or a dental nurse or a neurosurgeon, or a neurosurgeon or an anesthesiologist. I saw it. I was researching for this session and I saw that it was a big word. So anyway, so here are some key trends that are shaping careers in 2026. Okay, there are AI and automation reshaping job roles. What this simply means is, I'm going to take that back. I do this a lot. I digress. AI is taking people's jobs for real. Amazon is constantly downsizing. I hate to be the person that says this, but it is what it is. But do we stop going to AI? No, we don't. Because this AI is the future. It is here already. We're going to leverage, we're going to milk from it, we're going to enjoy it. And when AI goes, we'll find something else to do. But that's not the point. Okay. So AI is reshaping and people's jobs. So if you cannot find a way to make your job, if you cannot find a way to upskill and make yourself really great at your job, AI is going to take it, because AI is now creating codes. AI is now doing everything, like the heavy lifting that a lot of people are doing. If you tell ChatGPT to create a code for a website, it's going to do it for you. We now have AI content creators. I enjoy AI reels on Instagram. Like, you find me there 24/7. Please don't tell me, please, am I the only one? If I'm not the only one, or if I'm the only one, please let me know. But if I'm not, also let me know in the chat. Like, those AI contents, they are almost human, but you can still see elements of AI in them, because people are still reworking them, right? We have global talent mobility. People are working more and more remote. More and more people are out of jobs. We have the research and academia, because what is feeding the growth of the new technology taking place is research, okay? And then non-linear careers are becoming the norm slowly. And then employers start to prioritize skills. As much as they prioritize certifications, they're prioritizing skills, they're prioritizing adaptability, which is why it's very, very easy to see like a lot of pivoting happen like in the employment space. I digress again. Very funny story. I recently spoke to somebody who is in the UK and recently got a job with sponsorship. And we're talking about how she got the job. And she was saying, oh, she actually joined the company as something else, but her skill was so transferable and she understood technical terms. And this was why, like, this was what made her unique. This was what made her stand out to her employers. Okay. So understanding things, right? Being not even if you're not going to be technical, but know your ship, which is going to take us to my next slide. Okay, that's not the next slide. Opportunities shows up as different things. Okay, so it could be skills transference, just like I was talking about earlier, just like some minutes ago. Cross industries transition. So say for instance, you were in fintech, you want to go into big tech, cool. You were in big tech, you want to go into AI, cool. You're in AI, you want to go into aviation, cool. Or you are in all of this and you want to take all of those experience and go back to healthcare, cool. You want to go to education, great. Cross industry transitions, global exposures, portfolio careers, what you do on the side, basically, that can sort of open doors for you. Do you get what I mean? And then, but in all of the conversations that we're going to be having today, one thing I want to make very clear is, regardless of what you're doing, right, regardless of where you are in your profession, whether you're just leaving school, whether you're ready to have a job, whether you're not even doing your dream job, whether you don't even have a career, or whether you want to leave your career, we are not going to be erasing your story. So you're not going to be starting from scratch, okay? You're going to be rewriting your story, all right? And then you would learn the important things before you start to move upward. Something that a very dear mentor of mine used to say is, learn something, be great at it, like be very good at it, be the best at it, because we are in constant competition. Okay, I live in the UK and I can tell you for a fact that everything I can do, the average British citizen can do it. What would make me stand out is the extra that I'm willing to put into it. What will make a recruiter or an HR professional take a look at my CV and not dump it in the bin and not give me another rejection offer? What will make recruiters look for me is the extra, right? So we're learning to move laterally before we decide, okay, let's move upward, right? That way we already have everything that we need and then we can easily move up. Okay, so we're going to come back to my question here. I'm going to go straight to the next question, the next slide. So I want 3 people to tell me what they currently do. Please, don't, it doesn't have to be anything, like, it doesn't have to be anything massive. Like, if you are an administrative assistant, let me know. Just tell me in the comment section. I just want to open your eyes to the possibilities that exist, right? So, like, if you're a customer service representative, just, I want to see you, like, I want to see you in the chat. Oh, I like this. Okay. Evelyn, I'm just seeing your message. That's really great. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Right, perfect. And is there any of you that you're looking to leave where you are? Like, if, say for instance, Hannah, you're a teacher, what's your goal? Like, are you trying to leave teaching, or are you trying to, like, learn something else? Are you trying to get into something else? For whatever reason, like, again, no judgment here. It could be like you want more money. It's a valid reason to want the only reason why I'm pivoting from marketing is because it's saturated and I need more money. I need a lot of money. Okay, so Hannah, tell me, like, what are you looking to get into? Do you have it figured out, or are you still thinking about it? Thank you, Judy. Thank you, everyone, for commenting, by the way. Okay. I don't know what engineer teach mean, by the way, Sam. Okay. Okay, so Anna, would it be possible to unmute your mic, Anna, and talk to me a little bit, please? If you're in a good place where you can talk, if you're not, I totally understand.
Okay, I can try.
Okay, great. So do you kind of have a picture of where you're trying, like, what you're trying to do next outside of teaching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
I want to go into the health parastatal.
Okay, health, that's great. So what are you looking at? Are you looking at, like, a profession, like healthcare profession, or like more support and administrative roles in healthcare?
In the professional area, like a
Okay,
nurse,
great.
like a nurse.
Okay, great. So I'm going to just show you how, like, for Hannah, it's very easy to pivot to become a nurse, right? Because Anna already has life skills. She's a teacher at the moment, so she has to interact with people, right? She interacts with children, she interacts with parents, she interacts with fellow teachers. Okay, so she already has skills that are necessary. She has skills that are necessary for a nursing professional. The only thing that Anna needs to add to her sleeve is technicality, right? She just needs to know probably how to, like, go to school, learn how to put in catheter, learn how to administer medication, learn how to do all of these things. Can you see now that the skills are already there? Like, the skills are already existing. The skill, like, where you're going to, what you want to do, it's already in you. Say for instance, I did take notes on my phone, so I'm going to be reading from my phone. And these are some of the skills that I think are easily transferable. Say for instance, you're a customer representative personnel. You speak to people, you speak to customers, right? You take orders, you speak to your manager as well, you speak to other colleagues, you handle basic complaints, you know how to tell people, okay, see, calm down, or maybe calm down is too triggering for some people, but I understand your concerns, I'm here to help you, just give us a minute, we're going to get to the bottom of this, right? You already have verbal and written communication skills. You already have active listening, right? You already know how to explain information clearly. I kid you not, you can move from being a customer support person or a customer representative to a business analyst, right? Because what do business analysts do? At the core of their jobs is to gather requirements, cross-functional collaboration, communication, meet with the product team, meet with engineering, meet with marketing, meet with, like, everybody to ensure that the business runs smoothly, right? You could move from being a customer service person to being a project manager, right? Because I feel like business analysts and project managers, they do very similar things. But while business focuses on the entire scope of the organization or the business, product managers focus on specific projects per time. You can literally move to marketing and communication roles. You just need to brush up your skills. You can literally move to like customer or operations management, team. You can move to like being an account manager because you've had to like work with individuals. Are we getting me? Is this making sense now? Are you starting to see the bigger picture? You can become like a product, you can become a researcher, you can become an HR person, you can become an operations person. My point is, you already have what you need to get to where you want to get to. Okay. Now, next on my slide is positioning, right? Positioning is basically how you present yourself so that people can see you for opportunities, essentially, right? It's how a very simple explanation is you're at the bus stop, but if you hide, like, let's say there's a bridge and you're at the bus stop, you're staying at the foot of the bridge. A bus driver will probably not see you to stop and carry you. But say you are like standing at the bus stop, right? Where the bus driver would see you, they will stop to ask you where you are going to, or the conductor will stop to ask you where you are going to. You see that, like, those are two different analogy, right? That's positioning, essentially, like simply put. Okay. So first of all, I like to say, ask yourself, do you know your onions? Do you know your shit? Like, will people see you? Will people think of you when they think of who can get this job done? Even at your current job, are you making yourself visible enough so that when opportunities arise, they will think of you? Like, one thing that I didn't realize before coming to the UK was you can grow up in an organization. Like, it happens, but it's not very, I feel like it doesn't happen as much as I would have loved to see it in Nigeria. You could literally leave a junior role and become a manager. Or no, that's not the example I'm trying to use. You could leave being a marketing person in an organization like the NHS and move across board and become like a digital transformation person, right? There are opportunities, but you have to know what you're doing. And how else do you show that you know what you're doing? You show that you know what you're doing by actively contributing to what is already being done, right? Does that make sense? Are we together? Okay, cool. Nobody's responding to me. I'm going to call you out, though. They don't used to hear me. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so if your answer to the initial question was yes, like you know what you're doing, then that means you only need to position yourself. I would say, how frequently, I want you to ask yourself the following question: how frequently does recruiters reach out to you? I mean, as much as we're holding on, as much as we're trying to be great at what we do, where we are, you should be on the lookout for opportunities all the time. Okay, so how frequently do recruiters reach out to you? If it's frequently, great. If it's not, then you need to position yourself on digital platforms so that recruiters can reach out to you. I don't have much time. I would have shown you how to do searches and how to position yourself on LinkedIn, but I do not have the time today, and and I need to wrap up. I told you, sidebar, guys. I told you that I'll not be able to talk for long because I've been under the weather earlier. But here we are. The next thing is, how does your CV currently introduce you? Right? How does your LinkedIn reflect where you're going or where you've been? How can you explain your values? So this is where the elevator pitch come in. When you meet somebody, how do you introduce yourself? Right? How are you able to introduce yourself to have a lasting effect on the people that you're meeting, right? So if your answer was a no, then you want to go back to all of the questions that I've asked above and start to align yourself, right, to it in a good way, Okay. So now when it comes to career reset, when people say reset, people, we usually think, oh, it's leaving where you are and going somewhere else. But no, that's not it. It's something as simple as, okay, so I started this job as a marketing automation person. I don't know the full extent of what you do, just Jonathan, But I will, so let's say you're a marketing automation person. I don't know what that is, but you've done interesting things and you've done you've done things that have solutions, like brought solutions to the company and to people. You want to start to tie back yourself to the value that you've provided. Okay. You want to say that, okay, so when I was in the first quarter of the year, I did this. I have measurable impact. I'm happy to say that I have measurable impact. I am proud of myself. One of the things that I'm so sorry, guys. I'm coming, please. I'm coming to the chat. I'm shy. Anyway, one of the things that I noticed is they're not going to blow your trumpet for you if you don't do it by yourself. And I don't want to say I learned this the hard way, but I saw somebody blow their trumpet by themselves, and it just made me so aware that, see, you know what, I will do this thing whether I like it or not. So there's this colleague of mine that I worked with, and for every new thing that he does, he was a product manager, okay, and for every new thing that he does or he did, he's going to post about it on LinkedIn. If the company is going to do a press release, because I previously worked in an agency, right, and we constantly had to put like it's third-party branding, okay, third-party communications, third-party branding for the CEOs, for like top management. So I was used to being in the background. But at this organization that I worked, my colleague was always fighting to be in the front line. And that shifted something for me, right? Beyond posting what you do on LinkedIn and like on your other social media platform, which is your digital currency, remember, you also want to translate those into things that recruiters will see and be very excited about in your application. So put it in your CV, right? Put it in your CV. Another thing is you actually need to learn the skills, okay? So you're not just jumping to go and to a new job. Say, for instance, you're learning business BA. You started to apply. No, you don't do that. Don't do panic applications at all. Know what you're doing. Know it well enough that if you're landing only 2 interviews, you're giving all those interviews your best shots. Okay? Because I'm seeing on Instagram, like last year, I did over 1K applications. I got like maybe 15 callbacks. I got like maybe 6 to 8 interviews. I didn't get any offers. People are better than you in this game, and people know how to sell themselves out there. Okay. So even if people around you are being pressured to do a lot of things, like leave the pressure aside. Like AOB was saying earlier, you have to know yourself enough to know the things you can do and things you cannot do. That goes back to like personal, like grounding yourself. Okay. Try to stay away from the pressure. Understand what you are going into and go into it just because you want to go into it. Okay. Avoid comparison. Please avoid it. I belong to it. I'm currently leading the community, right? And somebody is saying they want to do 50 applications in a week. It's absolutely great, my dear. I love it for you. Right now, I'm not in the space where I can do 50 applications per week. But when I'm in the space where I can do 50 applications per week, I'll probably do more than that. Okay. That's knowing yourself, right? And you don't have to wait until everything is perfectly ready. I know this sort of like might cause confusions between the panic applications bit and perfect readiness. But if we have more time and if you ask me if you ask questions about it, I'll be able to answer. But for now, I have to run. Okay. And then planning it out. Okay. So remember when we started the call, I said that for some of us, the year has been a lot. So some people are sort of easing into the year, which is absolutely fine. So if you do not have any plan for the year right now, it's okay to start now. Like that's the point. And that's why this is very interesting that this conference is holding at the beginning of the year in February, right? It's okay to start now. And your plan for the year doesn't have to end with the year. It can literally spread into the next year. Say, for instance, you're just making you have like a 12-month plan or a 15-month plan. You start it from February. It's definitely going to go into February next year or May next year, which is 15 months. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to then go on and show you high-paying jobs, entry-level roles, and and then senior level roles. I feel like there's a lot to talk about when it comes to positioning yourself for opportunities, right? But this is just so that you can open your eyes and see that there are opportunities out there. And I know a lot of people that are living in Nigeria and are working remotely for one country or the other all over the world. I know someone very close to home, my brother, who works with Upwork, and like he gets a lot of gigs. What does this mean? Like, your location is not a barrier. Take that out of your mind. Okay. Your location is not a barrier. What you studied in school is not a barrier. What you currently do is not a barrier. You literally have no excuse. Okay. You literally have no excuse. I'm going to show you this slide. It might not relate to a lot of us, but like I said, this is just to open your mind. I decided to put entry-level salary for these roles and salary after 5 years, so you can see the trajectory of the opportunities in these roles. Okay, so the role of a CEO, entry-level salary is 70K. I was surprised myself because I was thinking, oh, most CEOs are internal. But no, you can literally I could go to my growth up and say, oh, I want to become the CEO of this company. And then, they'll pay me that much if they have that much money. Right? Just saying. But like, there are organizations that are literally recruiting CEOs just for this position of CEOs and nothing more. Do you remember sometime last year when this CEO, I can't remember the company, if you remember, please put it in the chat for me. This time last year, there was this company CEO that was found at an event canoodling with a married woman. I think the HR professional of their company, right? Just as an example, that like the moment that thing went viral and the organized company, so they knew that this is a PR crisis and they needed to get it sorted. What did they do? They fired him and they employed another CEO. The CEO, I don't know who they employed, but the CEO could have been an external candidate or an internal candidate. So these are opportunities. But you cannot be a CEO if you don't know your onions. Remember. Next thing, neurosurgeon and specialist surgeons. I do wish sometimes that I studied medicine just for the pride and the flex. However, it ain't possible anymore. Maybe in the near future, sure. And then we have anesthesiologist who works with surgeons. We have investment bankers, which is a very interesting part for me. Victor, I see you. These people, like, this is their entry level salaries. Can you see? Maybe I need to share my screen at this point. Can you see their salary, guys? 80K. And after 5 years, they're going to be earning like 300K. But the great thing is, even if you start as an investment banker, you don't have to stay as an investment banker, right? And then we have corporate lawyers. We have AI and machine learning engineers. I strongly believe that this role is phasing out very soon. It would no longer exist, or if it exists, it will be very, very highly competitive. And then we have data scientists. Can you see the tech roles are even lower in terms of like remunerations compared to like the other roles? Anyway, this is just to open our eyes to see the possibilities that exist in the world. There is, like I always say, there is so much money in the world, though. Like, if you continue to feel like there is no money, you are doing yourself the greatest disservice. And like somebody said recently, if somebody says what's the worst that could happen, you should say what's the best that could happen. You're literally like, it costs nothing to think big. It costs nothing to put yourself in the right position. Maybe it costs a little bit of sleepless nights, a little bit of more work, a little bit of extra studying, a little bit of networking, but it would pay you right in the future. And that brings us to the end of my presentation. Anybody, any questions? Does anybody have any question for me, or has this been a good session for you?
Thank you very much, Victoria.
Thank you for having me.
I'm happy you still have like about a minute and 19 seconds. And you told me you want to be using up to 30 minutes.
I know. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm glad
I'm
glad you used your 29 minutes, and it was really insightful. I'm sure with the participants have someone like me, who I'm part of the participants, we've gotten insights to things that we didn't know, especially when you mentioned something about the skills, about having like transferable skills from what you're doing currently to where you're headed, right? So you have the skill already, it's just the technicalities that you put to screen, right? Thank you very much, Victoria. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
If you have any question for Victoria, please put it in the chat. We'll be taking it from there. And if you feel you can wait to the end of the session, there's going to be a link that will be shared with us. And the answers or responses to your question will be shared with you via WhatsApp or your email address if the platform where you prefer to get your response sent to you. Thank you very much, Victoria.
Thank you very much, Jide. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
my
allowing me
Growth
this
Hub
part of the
team.
All right.
Thank you
so
guys. Bye. Okay, I'm still
Bye.
on the call anyway.
All right. So going straight to the next on our agenda. So this will be the last session for tonight, and I actually saved it for the last. I'm not going to lie, because it's something that most of us we struggle with. And let me share a background to the topics that we are having for the conference. So we did a survey within the community to see where we are actually looking to grow or get better at. And the survey, through the survey that we did, we got the feedback from there and be like, okay, these are areas that we feel we could do better, and then we have to look for people, professionals, experts to come speak to us about it and then enlighten us. So finance is one major aspect that people are struggling with, right? And then we said, okay, oh, I've already laid the cat out of the bag. Okay, so our next session is on finance, and definitely our next speaker is loaded. If I tell you loaded, he's also loaded. Like I'm sure you've gotten two already. So the final one is definitely going to be another banger, right? So the next session is on finance and wealth reset. We are resetting. So our first day is on resetting. We are going to reset everything, right? So our next speaker is on the call already. Victor Ogunses. Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry if it's not intentional. I don't know if it's Ogunseson or Ogunseson, but I'll just call you Victor. Okay. So Victor is a talent development specialist with a professional background spanning management consulting, financial services, and fintech. His experience includes organizations such as Workforce Group, FCMB, and currently Bloomberg Financials, where he leads capacity development and strategic learning initiatives. He holds a first-class degree in integrated marketing communication and is an MBA candidate with interest in financial discipline and literacy, strategic decision making, and leadership development. Victor is also building Yanico, an agribusiness venture focused on long-term value creation across the agricultural value chain. His work is shaped by strong faith-based values, and he is passionate about helping young people approach money with clarity, purpose, and long-term alignment to their personal goals. Join me as I welcome Victor to the call. Welcome, Victor.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Glad to be here. Please give me a second for me to share my slide. Just give me a second. All right, please confirm you can see my slide now. Please confirm this up.
Yes,
all right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I will try to keep it under 30 minutes as well. AOB has set the ball rolling, and Victoria has taken it a notch higher. So I'm just hoping I can meet up to the expectation. I'm so happy to be here, really, because when Olajide reached out, I said, okay, young people, young professionals, this is my audience. These are the people I love to speak with, right? Because we happen to be in the most informed generation, right? And unfortunately, it appears that a lot of us are not making the right decisions, even though we have all the information. Okay, so reset to rise 2026 final and reset. Let's get started. So reset is not structural. It's structural, rather, it's not emotional. Let's start on that note. Reset is structural and it's not emotional in any way. And when we are talking about finances, I always like to start sessions like this with this story. I don't know if anyone here has read this book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. And at the start of that book, he made a comparison, two stories of a man, I can't remember his name now, of a man who worked as a gas station attendant, fuel attendant as a in Nigeria. And he died at 92 or 94 in 2014, and he left a net worth of $8 million, $2 million, $8 million, $2 million to his children, and $6 million to a local children's hospital and a library. Then there was another man who was a Fortune 500 executive. I think it was Merrill Lynch. Yes, he was a Merrill Lynch executive, but he went broke from over leveraging and spending too much, basically. You begin to wonder, okay, someone has so much income, but that person did not have a lot of income, but their outcomes are different. It's foundational things like this. So I was thinking, yeah, I could go into, yes, okay, these are the high, low risk investments, medium risk investment, and high risk investment you go into. I could tell you to buy invest in some private debts that will give you 30% at the end of the year. Almost guaranteed to come with his own risk. But I said, let's go back to the foundations. If you get these foundations right, honestly, it sets you up for success financially. So big 2026 as well has rewards for everyone. But people who maximize, who benefit the most from opportunities in 2026, they are prepared people, disciplined people, and positioned people. And I have my notes. I said, preparation is internal. Prepared people know their numbers, they have emergency buffers, have great skills, and have clear goals. When something open up, they don't scramble. A lot of us are here. You have spoken about vision, you have spoken about writing down your goal, having a goal in mind. I think he said he recommended 5. I need to go and review mine to ensure that I'm aligning with the professionals. Opportunities will come, but if you're not ready for them, and a lot of opportunities that come up these days, say you want to invest in something, you want to invest in yourself, you need liquidity, you need funds, cash, you need to have ready cash, not just cash that you can borrow, because that can create problems for you in the long run. Ready cash, your own money. So prepared people decide. Preparedness reduces emotional decision making. Disciplined people, discipline is behavior, I would say. Disciplined people control lifestyle inflation, save before spending, invest consistently, and avoid reckless financial risks. Discipline builds margin. And we are going to get into margin shortly. Position people have liquidity, like I said, have optional income, have reduced debt pressure, and have financial breathing room. And we're going to see this shortly, where two people who have the same income or making two different decisions based on their mindsets are able to position for opportunities. Now, I won't even go too much into this because we spoke to vision and values already. So, who are you becoming in 2026? That should be your vision. What do you want to be by December 2026? But when it comes to money, I'm thinking beyond 2026 because when it comes to wealth building, it's like a 1-year journey unless you win the lottery, which is if you please consider it, just that I'm going to get rich off that. Very, very slim. If you do, Baba, maybe I think there's a new lottery thing about to start in Nigeria that I think the big jackpot is about $1 billion. And the chances of winning that thing is like 1 in 10 million or so. What are the odds? Vision, what are you becoming? Values, what are the things that are most important to you? And money, what are you financing? If you have vision and you have values, without money, you can't finance it. I'll give you an example. If someone has values, if someone holds the value of integrity very strongly and they say, I don't take bribes, I don't do this, I don't do that. there are certain offers that they would reject. That will be easy for them to reject because they are fine. Not because they have that amount of money, but because they are secure. Someone who has enough to eat, enough to feed their family, enough to clothe themselves, enough to develop themselves, they're just okay. And if an emergency comes up, they know where to go, they know what to do, they have a reserve. If someone comes to the office and says, oh, do this or we do this to you, they won't be really moved because they have those values and they don't have money. I worked in the bank, and there's this thing about AML, CFC, a couple of people that might have heard about it. They ask all of us to always be watchful of the other person. Don't trust anybody. I don't know if you do this wherever you work or maybe even in school. You could stand up from, maybe you left your laptop on the table. You could stand up from your laptop and go and do something, maybe use the restroom and come back and miss your laptop there. Just fine. In the bank, if you do such, a certain organization can actually sanction you for that. And even if you do that, you're putting yourself at risk because someone can use the system, commit a crime, and you're in trouble for it, basically. The reason someone can do that is because they're under pressure. That's one of the things you always tell us, that people who are under pressure make crisis decisions. So they say someone has taken 5 billion, and I'm like, that guy is very chill, he's very religious. By the time they start interrogating the person, they find out, oh, he found an opportunity, or someone in his family was sick, something really happened, and he was under pressure. Pressure makes people do different things. So when people are under pressure, but they have enough financial buffer for themselves, they won't really test their values too much, which is very important to believe. So opportunities require liquidity, and liquidity requires discipline. Moving on, financial crisis. So these are the 3 numbers that matter. If you can get these 3 numbers right, whether you're investing in stocks or you're doing real estate or whatever it is you're doing, if you can get these 3 numbers right, if you have a goal of these 3 numbers, you can plan. You can reset as many times as possible. Hopefully, you don't have to start from ground zero. Monthly net income. This is the actual amount of money you take home each month after deductions. So for those of us who are not yet in the workforce or in the corporate space, there's this thing called gross income, net income. Gross income is everything you're earning. So your employer will pay tax for you. It's coming from everybody's pockets now, whether you're a freelancer or whatever it is you do. You pay pension, they deduct some pensions, they pay tax for you, they pay NHF. A lot of deductions come out of the money every month. That's your gross. So an employer can tell you, oh, we'll pay you 5 million naira every year, and you're excited that, oh, or 6 million naira every year, you're excited, oh, that's 500K every month. But mind you, at the end of the first month, if you see 402,000 naira, that means they deducted something. You are expecting 500K, right? But they deducted something and did not cheat you. They steal your money. All things being equal, if your employer is the fair person, they didn't steal your money. That's because they've taken out the deductions. What comes into your account, that's your net income. So the actual amount you take home each month after deductions, this is just for people who don't understand what net income is. Monthly burn rate, that's your total monthly expenses. Everything you spend to maintain your lifestyle, from airtime, from transportation, feeding, accommodation, your rent savings, if you're currently paying rent, all of that makes up your burn rate. And then your monthly surplus or deficits. The difference between your net income and your burn rate, this reviews your financial health. So let's move to this slide. So we have 2 people. There's Benny and then there's Fola. Benny is reactive, Fola is structured. They both make 250,000 naira. Burn rate for Benny is 235,000. For Fola is 180. Now, monthly surplus, it means every month after Benny spends on Oble, buys data, recharges for our mom, pays for Netflix, Amazon Prime, pays for Apple subscription, has the YouTube subscription, pays for Spotify. Benny is left with 50,000 every month, and she can manage to save 15,000. At the end of the year, she has 180,000. For now, the other hand has structure. And it doesn't mean Benny is wasteful. It just means Benny is not watching sometimes. And Benny could be wasteful. And maybe just hopes one day I'll get a big job. One day I'll get that oil and gas job that can pay me 2.5 billion naira per month. The thing is, those jobs don't just, hope is not a strategy. Before the job comes, you want to wreck your life. Because with the way Benny is living, Benny is just one emergency away from bankruptcy. Benny is one emergency away from reaching out to OPay. I'm borrowing from Palmpay or OPay. Next thing you see, Benny is unable to meet up. He's unable to pay. And then they start telling Benny's friends that, oh, Benny is late. Will you pay up our money? Or your friend, or they reach out to Benny's pastor or Benny's crush that Benny is owing us money. Fola on the other side, on the other hand, managed to save 70K every month. At the end of 2026, if it started in January, we would have 140,000 naira. Now, imagine this, there's an opportunity that comes up. Let's say both of them said the goal at the beginning of the year, I want to buy, even if it's a half plot of land in Ilesho, even if it's half plot of land somewhere in the village of Ibadan, that will cost me maybe 700K, I want to buy. Let me even know that I own a piece of real estate on this land, on this earth. Even if I cannot afford what Land Republic is selling yet, let me buy something at the very least. Who do you think is well positioned to do this without debt? Now, let's say the opportunity presents itself and it's say 700K, 500K, 600K. Fola is easily going to, for Fola, it's not really an inconvenience. For Benny, if Benny really wants to get that land, Benny will have to borrow. In 3 years, Benny still will not be able to buy that land that 700K today. Guess what? In 3 years, that land is now 1.2 million. Fola bought the land at 700K. Now the land is 1.2 million. It has gained value. Fola can choose to sell. In 3 years, Benny has 540K. Fola has 2.5 million. Opportunity readiness for Benny, very, very limited. Fola strong. So Fola can say, you know what, I'm targeting an oil and gas job, right? And I work in accounting. However, there's a particular certification that I saw that is for accountants in the oil and gas sector. This thing costs 1.2 million. Fola does not have to think twice. It's just like that decision. Like, okay, I'll take 1.2 million, I'll take the certification. Once I get it, put it on my CV, put it on my LinkedIn, make noise about it. I start applying. I reach out to Victoria and say, Victoria, please help me with my CV. What do you think I should put in? What do you think I should take out? That sets Fola apart. Fola is ready to grow. Next thing you know, Fola is making 2.5 million and is not able to save 700K every month. Stress level for Benny is going to be high. God forbid Benny's landlord chooses to increase rents. God forbid. So same income, same city, different structure, different future. So income does not determine trajectory. I'm making reference to the banking sector again. Bankers are known to be people who embrace a lot of lifestyle which you get to the A lot of bankers actually are very broke because of the access to money they have. Bankers can borrow just like that. The amount of time people see outside that, oh, it's very hard for us to get a loan from the bank. Not for bankers. They know them, they know the work, they know how much they earn, they know how much they can afford to loan at the banker. Just like that, you can get a loan. So even if that person is drowning in the sea, like getting baptized, raised up in debt every month, that person looks fine. Still drives a nice Corolla or drives maybe even a bigger car. But the person makes a lot of money, but all he has is deficits. Income does not determine trajectory, surplus does. So even the person that it's possible for the person who makes 250K or 200K a month to be doing or living better or have better financial prospects than someone who makes 500. It's all about what they're doing with it. So now, quick activity. I'm not sure we have a lot of time to do this. Calculate your surplus. What is your surplus? How much do you have? How much do you make? What is your total net? Now, total net to include what you get from your side gigs, what you get from your salary, what you get from your business, whatever it is you do. That's what your total net is. Now, take out how much you're spending. I'm almost certain that at least 50%, at the very least, I'm being modest, at the very least, 50% of us on this call cannot do this quick calculation. Why? We don't track. We don't track what you're spending. And that thing is a very laborious, it's very hectic to do. If you don't build that habit, you may never build it for life. If you don't start building it, if you don't already do this, you should be able to make this calculation on the spot because this is your money we are talking about. That number that is left, whether it is surplus or deficit, is either capacity for investment. So that person will not be invested. I'm telling you, because when I was starting out in investing, right, I started investing in stocks, I started buying the mutual funds, putting money here and there. I realized, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I'm getting some. Can you hear me? Okay. When I started, I realized that I was every market day, I was running to my investments to go and liquidate it. Sometimes I had to sell shares at a loss because I didn't have backup. I was just trying to let's roll it. But then I invest maybe 30th of the month and then by 15th, I'm like, I beg, give me my investment back. But I have to go back to this number. So that amount, that surplus or deficit, well, surplus really, is your capacity for investment, for growth, for opportunity, or evidence of financial liquidity. If your surplus is 0 to 20,000, you need margin redesign. This you should scale this. So let's assume we are using this 250,000 that we use for Benny and Fola. You should scale this for how much you make, for bringing that for how much you make. If your surplus is 0 to 20,000, you need margin redesign. If your surplus is between 20,000 and 50,000, you need allocation discipline. So it means you are almost there, but you still need to change some things. If your surplus is above 50,000, based on that analogy, based on that example, you need investment strategy. You can start investing basically. Don't keep that 50,000 in the bank account, right? The Nigerian spending reality, where money really leaks. So in the vibrant Nigerian context, several common habits can quietly erode financial capacity. Recognizing these leaks is the first step towards getting control and building long-term growth. Number one is black tax. See, you can't pour from an empty cup. That's what I can tell you. I understand that, yes, it's been tough. Trust me, when I started tracking my own expenses, right? The first revelation I had was that I was giving too much. It was not that I was spending too much. I barely buy anything for myself. Really. Barely buy anything for myself. I was giving as high as 35%, 40% of my monthly income. I'm not even joking. And I was alarmed. And I was checking, okay, 500 naira, 200 naira, 1,005. Before you know it, at the end of the month, you're giving out 40% of your income. Not just family, other people, but black tax really is something that I know there's an emotional attachment to it, but realize you can't pour from an empty cup. If you just came straight out of school, I understand that circumstances are different. There are people that the entire family relies on them. But if you keep doing that, and you keep giving what you should be saving and investing for your future, you're not helping yourself, you're not helping them, because you constantly be under strain. There was a video that was online a couple of weeks ago of some man beside, it was by the graveside, and it was saying this man was always carrying everybody on his back. He was always thinking about everybody else. He was always thinking about everybody else. How he thought about himself. Is this person fine? Is this person fine? This is him now. I'm not saying that's going to be the story of everybody who does that. So who will actually get their big break and they can finally break through financially. But I think I mentioned earlier that hope is not a strategy. My former chairman, and the first thing I always say, hope is not a strategy. Give me numbers, give me a plan on what you want to do in this business. That's by the way. Be careful, black tax. Set an amount you want to give every single month and stick to it. If you have savings, lock it up. May I give you free advice? Even I seem to do it. Have a bank account. Opening a bank account is free. A savings account is free. They will even tell you to come. Open the account. Tell them you don't want Spark, you don't want mobile app, you don't want ATM card, you don't want anything. You just money that you just an account and money can go into what cannot go out. If you want to take the money out, because I know in our generation we don't like stepping into the bank, if you want to take money out, you have to go into the bank in order to do it. Open an account like that. I suggest doing it in a bank that does not have a lot of branches. Don't do it in UBA, don't do it in First Bank. They have too many branches. Go open a Providence Bank account. Open a Premium Trust savings account. Open a Nova Bank. The banks are going to be here, and your money is insured anyways, up to 5 million. So open an account, an account to the bank that does not have a lot of spaces around. Moving on. Convenience transport. This is, I don't know if I've switched to a most Lagos-based audience. People like picking rides. It's good though, it's good for convenience. You're going to a place you don't know. But if you are doing it not because of convenience or for your own safety, but you are doing it to live up to certain expectations, you are only shooting yourself in the foot. Because sometimes people don't actually care. You show up to the events. If you are wearing white, maybe a jacket, maybe something on it so that your white will not be stained. If you are going for maybe once in 3 months, maybe eating out frequently, that is very expensive. Check how much you are spending on all those apps. Check how much you are spending on instead of actually cooking your own food. Max subscriptions, so Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube videos, YouTube Premium, Spotify. This kind of expenses make it seem very insignificant, but when it starts, YouTube do per year, per month is 2,100. If you don't really listen to music, or if you listen to, you can use YouTube, you can subscribe for YouTube, and you get used to music. Why do you use Spotify again? Just subscribe for YouTube, you get videos, you get music. Short-term loans, this is becoming very prevalent, and it's why even though we have Opay, we have Pampay, we have Money Points, more of these loan companies are coming up every day, and they are very predatory. You find out that someone is borrowing 100,000 and they are paying 144,000 by the end of the year. That's ridiculous. Visibility risk control. By identifying these small recurring expenses, you can significantly boost your long-term financial capacity. When I reduced how much I was spending on giving every month, mind you, I'm a very huge giver. So I just feel somehow if I can't give money, if I can't give stuff to people out of what I have, I just don't feel comfortable keeping everything to myself. I just say a particular percentage, lock up the rest of the money that I can't access it. So even if you come and ask me, I actually don't have, and I'm not like I actually cannot help you. If you observe, when people continue to ask you for money and you don't have to give them, sometimes, most of the time, they actually get that help from somewhere else. So that person, they are one of the options they have. But to you, most of the time, they are just the only option. If you give out that money, you are the one who has to borrow to go to work for them. The quality is lifestyle. When your income grows, maybe your goal is to get a new job, and you get that new job. I hope you really do get that new job, right? And it goes from 180K to 300K, from 300K to 700K, from 700K to 1.2 million. Whatever it is, the way of lifestyle trip. Don't move out of that apartment because now make more money. Don't change your phone immediately. It has been working for the last 2 years and it's just broken screen. Change the screen. Put new screen guard. Buy military grade account on it. That one can still go 2 more years. If your income is increasing, but your savings are not budging at all. That's typical lifestyle trip in action. Now you can buy perfume, but then you don't stop at one. You buy 2. Enjoy your money. It's your money. Don't leave everything for your. It's not next of kin. Next of kin does not actually spend your money. Don't leave everything for your beneficiary. Next of kin doesn't spend your money. Now, the income architecture. Primary income, expansion income, future income. I don't want to go into all of this. Primary income, the salary, whatever it is you from your salary and from your business. Expansion income, things that you get from your skills, freelance consulting. So maybe you have a skill, you work as a finance person at work. But there are small businesses that can use your services. If you work in finance, this is your year. If you understand tax, this is your year. And you do it for one company and you see them 9 to 5, move out. Don't do this move. You can keep your 9 to 5 job. All those small businesses around that, and this person is making, at the very least, this person is making 10 million a year. Help them do their books. Tell them you do it for them at 30K a month. You do their books for them so that at the end of the year, when Tinubu and NRS wants to collect tax from them, they can say, I know we don't make up to 50 million. We don't make up to X amount, so you can't tax us. But that's a new source of income for you. Future income, investments and assets. This is the whole new topic on its own. I hope there's an opportunity to share about this much later. Systems over willpower. In resetting so that I can rise financially. To sustain was number 1, track your expenses. I know it's very hard to do. Honestly, it's very, very hard. It's very difficult to do. I had to build the habits. But once I built the habit, it became default in my brain. Know what to spend every naira on. It's hard to start, but very, very, very beneficial. So you can go on your Play Store, download an app called My Money app. It's called My Money app. Very simple offline tool. You can impute how much has coming to show you there's an expense, there's a expense, there's income, there's transfer. So you can list all the accounts you have, all the bank accounts. You can have a cash account. How much have I transferred from my selling banks to my card so that I withdraw as cash? So when I go to work every day, come back, I spent 1,000 naira to work. It's on my way back. Note that I spent 2,000 naira on food. Note that at the end of the month, you can pull a spreadsheet. You can see how much you spent. By the time you do it for 2 months, you know where your money is going. I'm sure everyone has said, who is spending this money with me? Nobody is easier. I don't want to spend your money. automated savings transfer. I'm sure we know about this, using lock features on that like PiggyVest. An alternative is the banking thing I told you about. Dedicated investment account. Have a separate account for specific long-term growth objectives. Can you have an account? This account, what I'm saving in this account currently is the money for my certification. I work in HR. CIPO will cost me a total of 300K. I don't have to pay that once. I have to pay 80K first. I have to save my first 80K in 3 months. Save the 80K, go and start the exam. Because if you don't save that money, if you don't invest it, you can't scale to the next level. You can't rise to the next level. Quarterly financial review. If you are just starting out, still do it monthly. Clear spending threshold. Define the limits. I think put on all of these things. I cannot give more than 50K every month. Write it down. And have an account. Create a free PayPal account. Create a free OP account. Put 50,000 there. This is how much I want to give this month. Once that account reaches 0, I don't have, because you actually ignore. Because if you give out from any other expense, you're going to be the one to suffer for it. Now, rounding up already, I hope I'm still in time. My last slide is, I can't even save. I don't make enough. I'm barely getting by. What do I do? What to do is, you're going to have this slide. Have this mindset for when you can start saving. At the very least, don't control your money. Create a system that makes it a part of you to save, to set something aside, no matter how small. If it is 1,000 naira, I'm not even joking now. If it is 1,000 naira, this is how I started doing my NYSC. If it is 1,000 naira that I can save every single month out of what I'm making, put it aside and be consistent with it. If you cannot save 1,000 naira out of that, maybe 55K or 80K salary or allowance that you are getting, you cannot save 1,000 naira out of it, or you cannot save 2,000 naira out of it. Trust me, when you start making 1 million, it will be hard to save 50. It will be hard to save 100. It will be hard to save 200. Start with whatever, no matter how little. If you can't do bank account, this money is even too small to be in a bank account. Get a colo, down clear stuff, put money inside. What you're doing is you're rewiring your mindset to help you know that money has to be set aside. And what are you doing it? We start with your vision and your values. You are keeping that money aside to fund your vision. So your vision is to get a new job. What do you need to get that new job? I told you need to get a certification. That's your vision. It's money you need to fund that vision. Thank you very much. And I'll be taking questions now if there are any.
OMG. That was, you were throwing those shots and somewhere hitting me right on my chest. I'm sure most of us on the call we are like, oh, more. He actually is speaking to me, right? Thank you very much, Victor. That was really insightful. I'm not going to lie, and I had to like take notes, put some things down. Like, no, things must get better this year, 2026. No more black flags, no more. Why you like you mentioned something about e-hailing? I use those. I use boats. Like I have the 3 apps, right? It's not like okay, well, then let me start. But then thank you for opening our eyes to see that we didn't see before now, and we hope to get better financially in 2026. Thank you for sharing, and we really appreciate your time and your wealth of knowledge. Thank you. All right, we are 7 minutes beyond our timing, right? So it's just a few things left. Sorry, let me share my screen. So if you're with your phone or your laptop, it's just a simple task rather that we're going to do now. So want to not this. Okay, yes. Before the task. All right. So if you have any question, maybe you have a question for Victor, AOB, or Victoria, please do well to scan the barcode or you go to bit.ly/R2RQ. R2RQ. bit.ly/R2RQ. So while you are filling the form, you pick your preferred mode of getting your response. If it's via WhatsApp, I want to maybe continue the conversation with Victor, sure, we'll do that. You get your response, and you want to continue the response. If Victor wants to respond to your messages, right, we'll need to get the consent from him, or it will be or Victoria. So yeah, if you have any question, you can scan the barcode, send your question. So maybe the question is not even coming now, maybe later, and you just be like, oh, let me ask this question. So that's why we have created that repository for you to drop the questions there, and then you get your answers sent to you via email or WhatsApp. Thank you, everyone, for doing this. Okay, so this is the little task I want you to do. So just open your browser and type menti.com, and the question is, how is the one? So just describe the one. This one session, describe it with just one word. So the one in one word. So go to menti.com and type in that word that describes the one. I'm going to fill mine too. Definitely going to fill mine. Okay. So waiting for back. And go to menti.com. Oh, the code is 76872620. Menti.com. Then the code is 76872620. So I'm on the page now on my phone. Okay, join. Insightful. Wow. Nice. Insightful, not even insightful, insightful, thought-provoking. Nice. Amazing. Interesting. Nice. It was eye-opening. Great. Who else? Great. Nice. Any other person? About amazing with the emoji. All right. So we can send in our feedback, just a word to describe the one for you. And if we are getting this feedback for the one, imagine how the two is going to look like. So you don't want to miss the two or anything. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining the session tonight. It's been a wonderful session. I'm not going to like it's not even looking like I've spent 2 hours on this seat listening to people. Right. Thank you everyone for joining in. And then to our facilitators, it will be Victoria and Victor. We actually had so time, I'm not going to lie, and sure, a lot of insights to start thinking about, and then start acting on, especially on modern finance. I need to start taking it very seriously, right? So thank you everyone. Thank you, Victor. Okay, so did I stop sharing my screen? All right, so finally, before we call it a night, you'll be getting a mail for you to fill the feedback form. So there's a feedback form that will be sent to you via email. Please do well to fill the form, and the link, there's also a link for the feedback form. Yes, it's on the slide. Yes, thank you. Very beautiful session. Thank you for the feedback, Evelyn. I don't know why it's not going through. Oh well, you're going to get the feedback form via email. Just make sure, do well to fill it. So you know something about feedback, it helps us to do better, right? So if you can give your feedback for day one, how did day one went? What do you think you have done better in day one? Then we feel we should do better in day two or day three. Please do well to send in your feedback. And also for our NGH to be members, I see at least 1 or 2 or 3 people that have seen their names on the wait list. Right. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow again. Same time, 6 p.m. So tomorrow there's no African time. 6 p.m. is 6 p.m. Once it's 6 p.m. we're starting, and tomorrow is Friday. So if we can finish early on Friday, that's tomorrow. If we can finish early, we'll know that we'll have more time to prepare for the Saturday physical event. Thank you everyone for joining, and do have a great evening and night rest. Bye for now.
My hands really they make me want to turn around and shout hallelujah. My blessings I take count. My blessings I take count. Expecting of your house. But you more and it comes. My blessings I take count. You know, say I take count. Expecting of the house. I take count.